Alright, welcome to Titan 1. If you've watched another video of ours, you'll notice that this one's set up a little differently. This is different than what I like to do for the show. I am not a formal reviewer. I don't ever intend to be. There's plenty of other guys out there that do that. They have a better setup, better equipment, and they are a lot more well-spoken than me. And, you know, they get all the information across. And they do transformations and all that stuff. I'm not doing any of that. I am simply here to show you the difference between the MP-11 Takara versus the Yes-Model Starscream. Right away you'll notice the color and colors of different things are the main difference. This one's, the Takara one over here is more gray in tone, and the Yes-Model is, it's still gray, but it's like a whiter gray. And also a huge noticeable difference is the Yes-Model has panel line work across all the mold details on practically the whole thing, whereas the Takara does not. It has the mold details, actually the same exact mold details, but it's just not highlighted with, you know, whatever they use to paint that, a wash or machine painted on, or I don't know their techniques. I'm not going to pretend to know. And then a couple other differences. There's black tips at the end of Yes-Model's null rays, whereas these are just plain gray. And I might be out of shot. The Yes-Model's feet, or toes rather, are black, whereas they're gray on the Takara. So that's, I think, all the paint differences. Oh, not in frame here. See, I told you I'm not good at this. Anyways, so those are the major differences in colors and paint. Now, the Yes-Model kind of blended the Takara look back with the panel lining look of the, what I believe was the Walmart exclusive Masterpiece Starscream when it was back in the MP-03 mold, before they did the revisions on it. And I owned that toy. I don't anymore, but I did like the panel lines on it. But the blues and stuff, like everything else about it, I didn't really care for. But I did like the panel lining, and so to have them bring this back and kind of blend it in with the modern MP-11 was kind of brilliant. It still looks, you know, cartoon accurate enough, but it's not as lifeless and plain, I guess, as we're seeing a lot of Takara releases like MP Shockwave and MP Inferno, MP Grapple, even the Takara Asian exclusive Seekers that, you know, did all the recolors. They're just a little more plain. I don't mind it on the Seekers as much, but like I said, this guy's, the panel lining on this guy just really pops, and they added it everywhere. Inside the legs. Oh, earlier I did mention there is a little bit of difference in the nose cones. I'm not going to transform these in jet mode. Yes-Model Starscream comes packaged in jet mode, so I'm going to pull that out and take a look at it really quick. Alright, so this is what the jet mode looks like for the Yes-Model. As you can see, it has the panel lines, which look really nice. It's a throwback to the, I believe, the Hasbro Walmart exclusive mold. And then also has a, like, silver tip on the nose cone. Just very cool. Makes it look more like a jet, if you will, you know. And then underneath looks, you know, similar to most MP-11 molds. Also noticeable difference is the black tip on the null rays. So anyways, I don't really want to transform. I've never transformed my Takara Starscream before, but I mean, you can see a little bit of the difference there as far as what this guy would look like in jet mode. Alright. The panel lines on the Takara Starscream are just molded in the plastic. These on the Yes-Model are painted or machine washed or whatever the technique they use. So I just want to do that comparison really quick for you. All right. The one on Takara is more of a flat gray, and the one on Yes-Model is a silver. I hope you can see that. I hope that's coming through a little bit. And so not only did they color the panel lines on the gray or the white, but they did it on like his pelvis area also. So that's really cool. It did get a little sloppy in here on like his kneecaps. I don't know what that's about. But those are the only spots that I think it like looks sloppy. Like that one's a little bit out of line, and I'm sure, results may vary on that. One other disappointing thing that I thought that Yes-Model could have very easily done was like added fully articulated fingers, and they haven't done that on any of them, so it's not a big deal. But I just feel like if they're improving on the mold and the figure, that could have been a thing. So again, official, and this one has never been transformed. It was taken out of the box and put in my display back there, and I posed him very plainly, almost as exactly how he is now, and I haven't really touched him. I had to dust him before this video, but I'm going to show you this right now. And again, this is straight out of the box basically. I've owned this figure for however, a couple years, whatever. I've never transformed it, but all the Takara molds suffer from this. All the Takara Seeker molds. Okay? And his knees are really wobbly. Okay? I don't know. It doesn't necessarily bother me a whole lot with this particular figure because he has so much stuff down here and his weight is distributed evenly that it doesn't really cause any issues standing. But that exact same little wiggle is what has been hindering KFC Ditka from standing up, and we've seen extreme examples like in Ditka of how that's completely unacceptable, and I don't know, it's just bad. I don't know if I'll be able to show it in this video, but if you can see the tab in there up against that gray nose cone, that's the tab that holds the torso down. Alright? Now this one, notice there's no rattling. Okay? It's not coming untabbed. I could shake this 1,000 times and it would never come untabbed. Alright? And look right here in the knees. Do you see that wobble? It's not there. Any kind of movement you're seeing is because it's up against the ratchet and I'm about to bend the knee. Alright? There's no ugly wobble. Those ratchets are super tight. Alright. So, I'm not a Takara purist, so if this is what you're here for, is to see me defend Takara, you're going to be rudely interrupted because that is not what I'm here to do. I'm here to simply show that Takara has milked this mold to absolute death and they have not fixed these issues. And I'm telling you right now, if I hadn't already swapped all my other figures out for Yes-Model, I would show you again. And I did another little quick video when I got thrust in because I had both, I had Ramjet and I had Takara Ramjet and then Yes-Model thrust. And I did a little comparison a while back with that. I'm telling you right now, all the Takara molds have these same issues, okay? And if they're still cranking them out doing the cone heads now, like why couldn't they have fixed them by now? Maybe, just maybe, in the reissue that Takara's doing to this guy very soon, maybe they're addressing some of the things, but I highly doubt it. I think they've milked the mold dry. They don't care. They're overpriced. Aside from the reissue of this guy, which for whatever reason Takara was feeling nice and lowered his price, their official Takara Seekers go for $189 bucks, $170, $189, somewhere in that range. Now that's absurd. for a toy that's that floppy. Now, I did want to also show you that there's a sprue mark right there. Not a big deal. Like, I'm not one to usually point those out, but everybody else does. They all have the sprues or the flashes on the side of the tits. Okay? All of them have that. This one doesn't show up as bad because it's red rather than a like blue or silver. I think they're silver on the other bots, on the other Seekers. But anyways, I'm just pointing that out to show you that Takara's not immune to sprue marks either. Alright? This figure does have some as well. There's one on each side of the shoulder pylons that you, I mean, can't even usually see. And yeah, I don't see the same ones over here. But anyways, I'm not a huge worrier about sprue marks, so I just wanted to point out for you guys. So we've seen the color differences. We've seen a little bit of the quality differences. Let's do some ratchets. So the original MP11, the ratchets were a little softer, and every time you did it, like the boob missile pods would like lift off of his chest, and that's not terrible, I guess. Like I can get over that, but anytime you maneuver it, like of course it just wants to pop out. Now I understand, before you like ridicule me in the comments, I understand there's screws everywhere in the figure, and I'm sure I could find the screws, like maybe the screws that are on the sliding mechanism behind here. I think it's that one. I'm sure if maybe I tightened the shit out of those, that maybe this would stay on a little bit better. And I'm not saying that that wouldn't happen. But this is basically straight out of the box, so that's why I wanted to do it like that. Both these figures are out of the box. Like I said, a little softer ratchet. The knees, God, I keep going out of frame. Again, I'm not a pro at this. Knees are really tight on the official. Like, almost hard to do. Waist, thigh swivel. There is no waist swivel, we all know that. And, same articulation, that all the Seekers have down here. And you can't do much with these. Die cast on the official and the Yes-Model. The tabs on the wings of the official one don't like to stay in as tight as I'd like them to. It just makes one more thing you have to kind of clean up when you're manipulating it and posing it. There, I got it stay a little bit better now. And head's just on a ball joint, which is, it works for this mold. It's whatever. I never did like how Starscream's face was darker than the other two Seekers. Not necessarily in the toy or in the show, but in the toys. It just makes it harder for you to see Starscream's face from afar when he's when you're looking at him in your display. But they did the same thing on the Yes-Model. They just copied it over. So they do have, the Yes-Model does have a little bit of paint inside whatever the hell these are. The Takara did not, just red. And again, this might be from that same Hasbro Walmart exclusive. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I sold mine off. Those are painted inside. Let's see if these are on the official. Oh, they are. Good. Anyway, so reiterate again. Now, let's move this guy's arms. Notice the boob missile pod doesn't flip up. It jiggles, it moves, but it doesn't flip up. These ratchets, you can notice, are a lot stronger ratchets. They're just tighter, and they feel better. And they all have the same little swivel system for these things. It's all the same. Thigh swivel. Now, ironically, though, the ratchet for the knee doesn't sound as strong in the Yes-Model, but it's still tight as a taiga. And I don't know if I did the top, oh Oh yeah, see, that's a soft ratchet on there. So the only ratchet that's infinitely better sounding, I guess, is the knee ratchet on the Takara. But it's toothed too wide. You know? So it's really weird. But that's a soft ratchet. That's a little bit of a harder ratchet. It's still soft, but it has a harder click. I really love this, though. That you can't beat. And that frickin' wing came out again. So let's show these in comparison. I mean, I'm tugging on that pretty good, and it's not coming out. I mean, I pegged those in really good. Oh, I did want to show you. Now, this is going to be a little hard to do on camera because you do have to use some force on this. Look how much longer the peg is in the Yes-Model one, up against that nose cone. They elongated the peg so that it sticks in better. And you would have thought that Takara would have, like, figured that out by now and have updated their seekers, and all they had to do was extend that little piece, and it would have helped a lot better stick together. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, just pisses me off. Okay, so accessories. Now, another thing that pisses me off a lot about the Takara seekers. Now, again, this isn't a, defend Takara video, because you're not going to get that. And I don't necessarily like to bash on them. I just want them to be better. I want their quality to be better. The Takara seekers come with jack shit. Aside from Starscream, which comes with the Coronation set, the other seekers come with nothing. Like, I think a Megatron pistol, a little plastic pilot, and maybe the clip that holds the Megatron pistol, I think. And that's it. Now, in America, the Hasbro releases, I don't necessarily know if it was the more recent Starscream Hasbro release did or not, but the original ones that came in the clear boxes all came with stands. All right, so at least you had a display stand. So here's the cape for the Coronation set from the Takara one. It opens up, does a little click. You can make it longer and flowing, or keep it shut. Just a hard plastic, all right? This thing, it rests on some ball joints, and it drapes over the back piece of Starscream, all right? Now, this is the official one. I'm told we'll see here in a second. And before the video, I didn't notice this. I was going to point it out on the Yes-Model one, but the Takara one has it as well. There's like these little sprues or flashes on the back of the cape. Little dots. Not a huge deal, but I thought maybe that was just the Yes-Model one, but the Takara one has it too. Anywho, we'll put that on him. I don't necessarily know if I've ever even done that, but there you go. The shoulder pad things, I honestly have never put any of this stuff on my Starscream, so I don't know how they're supposed to go. I know they connect on there somewhere, obviously. But I'm just going to kind of rest them on here. And then the crown, not the crayon, the crown. It's a gold crown. It looks... Now, here's the Yes-Model one. Oh, let me get to the front. So, they look pretty identical to me. Somebody else was online trying to compare the golds, but I don't see a difference. They look the same to me. Alright, there you go, buddy. So, yeah. Here's the Yes-Model cape. Like I said, I was going to point out these little notches on there, but I guess since they both have them. The purple does look maybe just a hair. No, I don't know that it does. I don't know if it looks darker or not. But it doesn't really matter. You get the gist. All right, same little system. It snaps into long mode. These ball joints are a lot tighter, but the same thing, and I don't necessarily think that matters. I'll go ahead and put that on the Yes-Model ding dong over here. And the crown. And yes, so the Yes-Model comes with the full coronation gear. And, I mean, again, these look identical to me, so I don't know. Okay, so aside from, like I said, the little pilots that, honestly, I don't know if anybody cares about those, but little pilots come with this, and then this guy is done. That's it. Well, the Yes-Model one, like all of the Yes-Model figures, also come with these, like, missiles that you could swap out and use instead of the, actually, I don't even think it's instead of. I think in addition to the null rays, you can add these on. They just peg in. They can peg in on the back of the wings in robot mode, and then they peg in underneath the wings in jet mode. So there are those. You get 2 of those. Boom. 2 of them. You get, of course, the Megatron pistol. Alright. I can't even tell you how many of these I have now. I think I have 20. I'm not even exaggerating. It's a lot. It's ridiculous. This comes down so that you can better fit it in their hands. I think the stock comes off. Honestly, I'm not going over this. Who cares, right? It's just a Megatron pistol, minus the Decepticon logo. If you don't have any of these by now, if you want some of these, just message me. Like, I don't even give a shit. I'll send you one. It comes with some decals or stickers, so you can pop onto your, your KO over here. It does come with 2 little pilots and the little hook to hold the Megatron pistol in vehicle mode underneath of him like he did in like one episode. Oh, it comes with a Dr. Arkaville mold and then a regular pilot mold. So, cool. All the Yes-Models come with that. And then finally, it comes with the display base. The almost exact same one as the Hasbro clear box figures, like I was mentioning. Now, some of them are Walmart exclusive, some of them are Toys R Us exclusive. I think they've moved away from Walmart, and now everything's Toys R Us exclusive. But these came with all of the Hasbro releases in the clear boxes. And, yeah, I don't know. You should have seen one of these by now, but there you go. It goes like that. You can display them in jet mode. It goes up here. Or you can pop it off, swap it this way, and then, stick his crotch or his asshole, whatever, right up in here, and display him in robot mode. Maybe it goes that way. I think it does. I think it goes this way. Anyways, it's cool. You get a ton more of accessories for almost half the price, let's be honest. Now again, the reissue of the Takara, I know, is going to be a little cheaper. They came to their senses and reduced the price, which I think nobody still knows why. It just seems bizarre. Usually Takara doesn't lower prices, but hey, I'm all for it. Anyways, I think I've done everything. I moved parts. I showed you color comparisons. Nothing broke on the KO, which a lot of people were freaking out because there was a couple pictures and they were saying something about the way they did the machine wash or the coloring. It, like, damaged or whatever the plastic, or the integrity of the plastic was diminished because of that. I was finagling with it and doing it to it, so, it stayed together for me. I don't know what else you guys wanted to see. I don't really feel comfortable transforming things on camera, so I'm not going to do it. Even in our other show, when we do it, we have it sped up just so you can't, see us fumbling around acting like idiots. Even MP-10 is kind of a pain in the ass to do on camera. Man, yeah, that will happen if you slide figures over and expect them to slide on a surface. So that was ridiculous. Anyways, I was trying to back them up a little bit so I could get a couple comparisons in the shot for you. So there is the Yes-Model Thundercracker. Okay. And he's modeled just like the Asian exclusive one, so the lighter blue rather than the darker blue. Alright. And again, just solid. And then here's the Yes-Model Skywarp. Now I do have to say, my MP-11 TC or T, whatever it was, I think it was just T, the Thundercracker, was the loosest of my 3 official Takara ones before I sold them. It was just a loosey floppy mess. And then Starscream was in a close second, and then the Skywarp, the official Skywarp I had, actually was a little tighter than the rest of them, and I appreciated that. But the Yes-Model quality just was far superior still. And I love that, dude. I love the tightness and the feel goods. And then just because I had them here, I know I literally have all the Megatrons, but just because I had this guy closer, DX9's Mitron, just to show you a little how they two look with the Megatron next to him. And now we know Mitron's a little more silver rather than the like gray, the dull gray. The MP-36 looks more like this dull gray, like the Starscream, the Takara Starscream. But anyways, so that was a quick rundown comparison. Well, it might not be quick now, of Takara MP11 and YM-03 Starscream. All the accessories that they both came with, tolerance differences, articulation, color differences, everything that we need to know. And if you have any questions, comments, feel free to drop me a line, PM, whatever. Facebook.com/Titan1Toys. Titan1Toys@gmail.com. You can get a hold of me either way. And this has been Titan 1 little comparison video. My name is Matt Billings. And stay good to each other. Don't troll so hard. Keep the memes funny. And just be good to each other, like, I have to emphasize that. I like a good community, and sometimes the Transformer community gets a little harsh on each other. So, be good to one another. Alright, until next time, transform and roll out.